Chris Paul, according to Mark Stein on his Substack, is not expected back with the San Antonio Spurs. Do you have a favorite fit out there in the NBA for retirement home Chris Paul?
Retirement would be my favorite fit for Chris Paul. I loved prime Chris Paul. This is one of the things that's tricky is I mentioned my geriatric millennial roots earlier. Like all of the guys who I entered the industry with, and who were great a decade ago, the money is so big now that guys are just hanging around. And so I worry that like an entire generation, like Gen Alpha, is going to know Chris Paul as the control freak flopper who plays like 25 minutes a game, can't really get his own offense, but he's overpraised by basketball media for reasons that nobody can explain. I can explain them. It's because Chris Paul was amazing 15 years ago. And so I don't want him to just hang around and be this shell of himself.
5 years ago with Phoenix, he was amazing.
Yeah, well, but even that was really a diminished amazing. Chris Paul.
Yes.
I mean, like he used to be able to get you 25 a game. I've been like throwing out maybe Tyrese Halliburton is Chris Paul for a new generation. But the reality is Chris Paul was excellent defensively on top of all the Halliburton-ish stuff that he did offensively. And he was athletic enough to get his own shot in crunch time. He was a master of the mid-range for many years there. So I want Gen Alpha to study up on that version of Chris Paul and not watch Chris Paul play 15 minutes a game for the Lakers or someone next year. I don't know. Do you have any home for him, a retirement home?
I mean, it depends. Is Chris Paul willing to come off the bench? Probably not. He continued to want to start for the Spurs last year, even after the Fox acquisition, which made no sense for that roster construction, but it's what happened anyway. So this year, I cannot imagine he would continue to start. Castle just won Rookie of the Year. The Spurs at number 2, unless they trade the pick, are probably going to take Dylan Harper out of Rutgers, another guard. CP3 would be coming off the bench and probably not playing a lot. So with him, I understand him wanting to leave. But if he's willing to start, willing to come off the bench, that would increase the amount of teams I'd like to see him go to. Dallas would be interesting. Kyrie out until later in the season with his torn ACL. He could start to begin the year and high pick and roll with Anthony Davis. Like it could be help Cooper Flag out as a rookie.
Ooh.
I think the Dallas Mavericks, that's not a hard move for him either, from San Antonio to Dallas. That's the number one team.
Texas.
Yeah, exactly. That's the number one team on my list. Like Lakers with LeBron. I don't know. I mean,
yeah. The Lakers have been thrown out as a potential Chris Paul destination for literally 10 years, and I hope it never happens. His game doesn't really mesh well with what LeBron wants to do offensively. They also have Luka and Austin Reeves, who also need the ball. Lakers completely out. But as we talk it through, and I think back to our conversation about Minnesota at the top of the show and how badly they need a ball handler.
2 old guys, Andrew. Mike Conley and Chris Paul.
Ant is making it work with retirement home Mike Conley. Why not give it a try with Chris Paul? If he's willing to take a role where he's playing like 15 minutes a game, 20 minutes tops, I could see that being a fit that isn't horrible. But I'm sticking with my original plea. Chris Paul, please just retire and go get paid a ton of money to announce games on Amazon or something.
He would be awesome doing that. He might actually get paid close to as much.
That's true. The money's getting good in that area as well.
I know, exactly.